Hey, third graders. So this week we are going to talk about a couple of pages in the book. So go ahead and open your book to page 29. Last week we did number 91 on here, but we're going to talk about what comes after that. So if you look at the star about halfway, a little less than halfway down the page where it says Upbeat, we're going to talk about that. So sometimes we have some notes that happen before the first beat of the first whole measure of the song, and that's what an upbeat is. So in this case, we have 2/8 notes that happen before the start of the first bar. So 2/8 notes together equal one full beat, which means that we would start on beat 4. So, and anytime that you're counting in eighth notes, you need to count how, not just with the numbers, but with the ands. So you would start on 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's try that. So we're going to say 1, ready, go. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you look down at number 92, Sarah Sponda, this uses 2 notes for an upbeat. So we have D and F sharp before the main melody starts. It's like if you're singing the national anthem, oh say, the most important note is not most important word is not oh, it's oh say, can you see? Right, so that's an example of an upbeat. Maybe you can think of some other songs that have upbeats. Does Twinkle Twinkle Little Star have an upbeat? What do you think? Twinkle, twinkle. No, it starts right on the strong beat. Can you think of another song? If you can, and you want to message me either on the Tanara app or just by email, I'd love to know what you come up with for that. So Sarah Sponda is an example of that. Let's just read the notes on the first line. So it's D, F sharp, A, B, A, G, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, E, D, 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 F sharp, A, B. Do you notice how this measure is the same as the first full measure? A, G, F sharp, G, and then this measure is almost the same as the second measure. A, G, F sharp, E, and then we just have 2 long D's. Okay, so let's pluck the first line so we don't have to worry about our bow. Ready, go. If you feel like you got that, then just let the video keep on rolling. If you want to practice that again, if you feel like you got most of the notes but not quite all of them, or really didn't get it yet, then go back and say the notes as you play it and pluck it and try to get those secure before you go any faster. So now let's do it with the bow. The rhythm on this one is pretty simple on the first line because it's all 8th notes except for the last 2 notes, so those will just be longer. All right, ready? We go 1 and 2 and ready, go. Beat 4. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So we've got that. So the next thing you could work on is trying to get it a little bit faster. So I'll play it a little faster so that you can try to play with me. But if you can't play it that fast yet, that's fine. Just after a whole week of practicing it, you probably could. second line. The second line, it's not really the notes that are tricky, it's the rhythm, right? So let's look at the notes first. So we have high D and then B, and just remember we're reading the second A line, we're not reading the B lines. So high D, B, A, open D, high D, B, B, A, F sharp, G, G, E, E, F sharp, G, A, E, G, F sharp, E, D. All right, so let's play just the notes. You can pluck it. Don't worry about any of the rhythms yet. All right, so now let's try it. Actually, let's clap it first. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Wait a second, where's beat 4? Do you remember? It's at the beginning. It's borrowed from the last measure. Okay, so it's called an upbeat or a pickup note or pickup beat. And that's where it comes from. It's borrowed from the last beat or beats of the measure at the end. So that's why that measure doesn't have a fourth beat. All right, let's try to play it with the bow. Second A line. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and. Okay. So let's try it a little faster, and then we'll put the whole thing together. So you might need to practice it a little bit before you can play it this fast. Ready? Go. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so let's try it from the beginning. A little slower than that. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you can keep practicing that with the video. You can watch it again, or you can just work through it on your own. When you get comfortable with that, you can look at the B part. It's simpler, so it won't take as much time to learn. But it might be fun to try to record yourself playing the B part and then practice the A part with it and see how it fits together. All right, so let's move on from that. I'll do this in a separate video so you can watch them at different times.